Two Jedi fighters come out of hyperspace, near the Naboo moon of Onoam. The young voice of newly knighted Obi-Wan Kenobi comes over the intercom of Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn. For a planet that's under a blockade, Naboo seems to have a lot of air traffic. Qui-Gon Jinn says yes. It seems the Trade Federation is looting Naboo. Obi-Wan, why don't you sneak down to the planet while I go have a talk with the Neimoidians? Kenobi breaks away, and Qui-Gon Jinn heads straight for the main battleship. He's given permission to land, but once he does, he's met by a couple dozen battle droids, who said he is to be escorted to their commander, Newt Gunray. Qui-Gon puts up no resistance and asks them to lead the way. The battle droids take the Jedi to the bridge of the battleship, where Newt Gunray, the leader of the Trade Federation, is sitting in the captain's chair. Qui-Gon Jinn bows and says, "Greeting, Viceroy Gunray. I am Qui-Gon Jinn, Jedi Knight, negotiator, and representative of the Galactic Republic." Gunray stands up impatiently and says to the Jedi, "We tracked 2 Jedi starfighters when you came in the system. Where is your partner?" Qui-Gon Jinn smiles and says, "He's sneaking down to the planet to see what you've got going on down there." It took a long time for Obi-Wan Kenobi to make sure that he was no longer on the Trade Federation's radar. Then he flew halfway around the planet in order to avoid the blockade. Then he had to fly at an extremely low altitude in order to avoid popping up back on their radars. And often, he'd have to fly way out of his way in order to avoid Trade Federation battle camps. But all this travel wasn't in vain. It gave Obi-Wan Kenobi good insight into what was going on Naboo and what the Trade Federation had planned. Now the Force was telling Obi-Wan that his mission on this planet was to get the Queen of Naboo off of this planet. In a hidden bunker in the occupied city of Theed, Queen Amidala and her council discuss the current situation with their senator, Sheev Palpatine, who assures them that the Galactic Senate is doing everything they can, including sending 2 Jedis to help. But once the transmission is abruptly cut off, one of the Queen's advisors suggests that they may be on their own. The response from that comes from the back of the room. "I wouldn't say you're on your own." And the Queen and the Council are surprised to see a Jedi Knight standing in their window. Surprised, the Queen asks, "How did you find us, Master Jedi?" And Obi-Wan responds, "It wasn't easy. But the Force is telling me to get you out of here, Your Highness. The Trade Federation is coming for you." Queen Amidala responds, "I know. We've stopped the production of Hypo Rock, and I'm the only one with the codes to start it up again. one of Queen Amidala's handmaidens turned to their head of security and says, "Captain Panaka, what do you think I should do? I don't want to leave my people, but I can't let them get the access codes." Obi-Wan smiles, realizing that the woman on the throne is just a decoy. Captain Panaka replies, "My queen, your safety is what's important, and the Trade Federation not getting those codes. You need to leave with the Jedi." The queen turns to her handmaidens and says, "Get ready to go." Obi-Wan interjects, "I'm sorry, Your Highness, but we can't be very stealthy with an entourage." Before Queen Amidala can say anything, her handmaiden and bodyguard says, "I'll be the diversion while everyone else escapes. It's what I was made to do." As they sneak out of the bunker, Obi-Wan tells Queen Amidala that they need to have a plan. Amidala turns and says, "I already have a plan. We've been occupied for weeks. Do you think we've been sitting here twiddling our thumbs? I've got an ally that's going to take us through the planet core, which is the fastest way to the Hypo Rock refineries. We had stockpiles of Hypo Rock already built up before we shut down production. Cargo ships that are transporting that Hypo Rock are the only ones allowed on and off the planet. I figure we'll stow aboard one of those." Obi-Wan smiles again. "It looks like you've got it figured out. What do you need me for?" Back on the blockade command ship, Newt Gunray and Qui-Gon Jinn have a discussion. Qui-Gon Jinn tells a frustrated Newt Gunray, "I've already answered one of your questions. Now you need to answer one of mine." That's how conversations work. Newt Gunray says to the Jedi, "This is my ship. You'll answer my questions when I tell you to. Now where was your Jedi friend headed?" Qui-Gon replies, "Your ship or not, that doesn't mean you don't need to show manners. Now I'll ask again, is this whole blockade really about you robbing the Naboo of Hypo Rock?" Newt Gunray's had enough. He tells Qui-Gon, "I've had enough of this. This is where you'll be staying while you're our guest. I hope you don't mind the shields. I can't have a Jedi running around the ship unsupervised. You understand?" Qui-Gon replies, "Of course," and gets comfortable. The Viceroy goes to his comm and secretly calls his benefactor, "Master Sidious, we've got one Jedi on the loose, and one captured inside our headquarters. You swore that you can keep the Jedi out of this." The cloaked figure replies, "Don't be a coward, Gunray. Find the missing Jedi and the Queen, and then tell both Jedi that they're not welcome, and that you won't be negotiating with the Republic. There's no need to fight the Jedi. Just tell them to report back to the Republic, that you won't stand for their demands." Back on Naboo, Queen Amidala's decoy sits in the bunker by herself when the droids bust down the door. The droids say, You will come with us peacefully, Queen Amidala. The decoy answers, "Will I?" and then pulls out a blaster and proceeds to shoot multiple droids. Outside, Obi-Wan asks Queen Amidala, "Your decoy said she was going to provide a diversion. When can we expect that diversion?" The Queen replies, "Right now." And a large explosion comes from the bunker they were just in. Obi-Wan says, "I'm sorry if any of your friends were in there." Amidala says, "My council is being herded out by the droids as we speak. And my decoy was an android. That was her exploding. Now get into that sewer drain while the Trade Federation is distracted." After a stroll through the sewers, they come to a place Amidala says is their rendezvous point. And after a few minutes of waiting, their contact arrives. A Gungan by the name of Jar Jar Binks. Obi-Wan was not aware that there were two species of sentient beings on this planet. The Queen says, "Hello, Jar Jar. It's good to see you, old friend." Jar Jar says, "I wish it was under better circumstances, but we better get moving." Obi-Wan asks, "Did you bring a transport?" And Jar Jar says, "Yes, I brought a bongo